Bum, 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 bum. 20 bucks. 20 bucks. They're on the line for 20 bucks. They keep on playing. Nobody's paying. Hi guys, it's Jabor from Montreal. Hope everything's well with you. And Maggie, Mrs. Calabash, come into my kitchen. You can see with the boat, we're sailing away today. We're going to the south. We're doing Cajun shrimp mac and cheese. And this is and for dessert, it's a take on an old English pudding. It's a quick, sticky toffee pudding. We love toffee puddings in England. And this is a quick one. If you're coming home late at night, you know, you've got to get a meal ready. You think, oh, Lord, what can I make? Got some old muffins in. This is it for you. So let's get on and go to the back of the stove. With the Cajun, with the mac and cheese, instead of macaroni today, I'm using spaghetti. It's entirely up to you what pasta you use. It's all in the sauce. That's where the magic is. Come on, let's make some magic. So you see here, I've got everything laid out. In here, I've got some olive oil. Let's just heat that a little. I've got pans everywhere. Move that, that's the pasta, which is cooked. Just let's heat up. I've got the oven on because we want to put the pasta in the oven. And we want to put the sticky toffee pudding in the oven. Here I've got garlic and onions just chopped up together. Turn that up a little bit. And we want to cook those until the onions are transparent. And I've got a red pepper, but whatever peppers you've got in. I like red, it's got a nice colour, but I also like the orange peppers and the yellow peppers. So let's just cook those until they've softened a little bit. They don't take long. And some frozen shrimp. I peeled. Actually, when I got home and defrosted those, I realised I picked up peeled shrimps because normally I normally buy unpeeled shrimps, and then I use the peels to make a little of the stock to go into the sauce, and it just adds that little bit more flavour. There we are. This doesn't take long to cook because they're all chopped very, very finely. And we don't want to overcook the garlic. And I'm going to add a little butter to this, so it gives it that nice Cajun buttery flavouring. Just about a tablespoonful of butter. Stir it all around. There's a little bit of garlic or something that's caught there, so let's get rid of that. Add the shrimp. Oh, and we want to cook the shrimp until it turns pink. We don't want to overcook it because it's going back into the oven. So what I'm going to do, whilst that's cooking, move that one over there, move that over there. It's like musical chairs, only it's musical pans. That one there, that one there. And I'm just going to add a little salt and pepper to that. Because the shrimp, it's not like fresh shrimp. They can be a little bit tasteless sometimes, the frozen shrimp. So let's just cook that like that until the shrimp turns. I know in some of the recipes it says move the shrimp out, move the vegetables out whilst you're cooking the shrimp, but I like to cook it all together so you get the nice flavour. Now we're going to make the sauce. Butter and oil mixed together, and let's see what that we say for the. I've used an olive oil for this. Because I like the flavour of the olive oil with the butter. But just remember that you can't heat the olive oil up as high as you would be able to a canola, a sunflower oil. Flour. Now with this, I've got a little more flour out here just in case, and I think I'm going to add some. Now at this stage I'm going to add the Cajun seasoning, and I'm just having a look to see how much Cajun I need. I've lost it, about 2 teaspoons. I'm going to add this to the sauce, and we'll just add a little to the shrimp. I'll put the recipe up for the Cajun seasoning for you. Let's just put that in there like that. Ooh, lovely. Turn that up a little bit. I'm going to add just a little more flour to that. Just a little, and let that cook for a minute or two. I'm going to just leave that like that. I'm going to bring the shrimp forward. I've got that nicely, the roux made, and I'm going to pull these forward and just cook these a little more. And we're going to make the start of the sticky pudding whilst these are cooking. Turn that one off. There we are. Let's just because I want to get the sticky pudding in the oven, so come with me. So the sticky pudding, old chocolate muffins, some that have gone a little bit stale. And ramekins. Now I'm doing half the recipe because there's only 2 of us, and just for the muffins I use, these are my, you see they're only small because I can't eat big muffins, and I'll put the recipe up, the orange and chocolate muffins. I've just got to go back, that's cooking too fast. Let's turn that down. We don't want it to cook as fast as that. There we are. The shrimp are cooking nicely. So, just crumble a few muffins together, and I've made the adult version of this. So I soaked overnight. I soaked some some sultanas in a little whiskey. I hadn't got anything else, and it smells gorgeous. And I brushed these with some oil. Actually, I didn't. I brushed it with a little butter. And so we're going to pack. Now you can serve these with, there's a sauce that goes on the top, and you can serve this with ice cream. I'm not serving with ice cream today because I can't eat the ice cream. If I'm eating this, I can't eat the ice cream with being diabetic. And I don't think Derek is too keen on these. Are you, love?
What?
You're not too keen on the sticky puddings?
No.
Just press them down. I love sticky toffee pudding. I love it. As a child, we always had a dessert just press it down like that. And I'm going to cover that with a little foil and put it in the oven for about 8 minutes or so until it's heated through. Now, you can, if you're working ahead, if you know that you're going out and you're going to want this for the day, get to this stage, make the sauce, pour the sauce on top, leave it, then put everything back in the oven at about 400 until everything's heated through, and that will work. So we just put those down there, like that, and they're heated through. The shrimp look lovely cooked, so I'm going to move those over there. Back to the drawing board. We will just reheat this again. And, oh, excuse me. Let me get rid of that. A whisk. Now we've got a little milk and some cream. And this is making the roux. Don't worry. People get very worried about making a sauce. Oh, it's burning on me, it's gone lumpy. You know, what happens is when you add the liquid onto the heat, that's why we don't add it all at once. You can see, can you see that, Derek? Yeah. How it goes, it's forming a solid, and that's called making the roux. And what's happening is the starch buds in the flour are bursting, and this is what thickens the sauce. Now, if you're gluten-free, you can make a version of this either with gluten-free flour or just make a cornstarch sauce. Doesn't taste quite the same, but it's very good. Now, I've got the milk. I do have a little more milk if needed, but we're going to add some cream to this. Cream is also a thickener. It's a liaison, and it thickens the sauce. But we want to cook out the flour, so if you don't cook out the flour, it tastes raw. And I'm using 35% cream, and then it won't separate. I burnt myself. It's hot. There we are. So let's just have a look at this. See, we want it to be a binding sauce. We want somewhere between a pouring sauce and a binding sauce. No, I'm going to add, because I've got some of the shrimp stock here, I'm going to add some of that stock to this sauce. So let's turn this off. These get hot, these handles. So let's pull this over here. Turn this down a little bit, and I want to put some of this nice juice in there. In fact, I'm going to put it all in like that. Ooh, look at that. That's lovely. So let's just pull this off to one side like that. I'm going to taste it, and then I'm going to add some cheese to it. So let me just taste this. Whoops. It's got a beautiful mellow flavour, but it's got a little bit of a kick to it. I don't want to put any more pepper in there, but I do want to put just, oh, that's pepper. I do want to put just a little salt in there. And it'll bring out, don't forget, salt, fat, salt and sugar are your food flavour enhancers, so it'll bring out the flavour. Let's just taste that again. Oh my gosh, I could just sit and eat the sauce. Now we've got cheese. You notice I turned off the heat because I don't want the cheese to overheat. But I just want the cheese to melt. Like that. Just make sure that I've got everything there. Blub, 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 bum, bum. Pour pasta into cast iron, oven-proof dish, arrange shrimp over pasta. There we are. Again, another taste, because we've added all the flavour of the... Oh yes, that's cooked. I'm going to add just a drop of milk to that. Excuse me. It is just a little bit on the cloity side, as we say. I want to just let it down a little bit because this sauce goes over the pasta, so all the flavour goes into the pasta. Let's just heat that up for a minute. Woohoo! Lovely. Take that away. Strain the pasta. Now you notice with this, I'm not going to rinse the pasta because I want the starch on the outside so that all the sauce clings to the pasta. Stay. It obeys me about as well as the dogs do. There we are. And I'm going to add, I like to add the pasta to the sauce. Look at that. Beautiful. We're going to keep that warm just on a very, very low light. Why? Whilst I just mix up some breadcrumbs and some melted butter. I want to keep everything warm. It's decided it's not going to light on me. Yes, come on. There we are. Turn that down a little bit. I just want to keep the shrimp warm so that everything's at the right temperature. Oh, I could sit and eat that just out of the pan. Blow the shrimps, just the Cajun sauce. So come back. Now, I've got some homemade breadcrumbs here. When I get to the end of a loaf of bread, I make my own bread, as you know. And when it gets to the end, I just crumb up some breadcrumbs, keep them in the freezer. Now, we're going to mix that like that with some breadcrumbs, and I've got a little Parmesan here, which I'm going to add some Parmesan to that, and then we'll put some Parmesan on the top. So I'm going back to the stove. Let me get my pan stands organised. Get that organised, one pan stand. Put that there. Make some. I have to be careful, otherwise you can't see what I'm doing and I get told off. I get a dirty look and I know I've gone beyond that crease. I know that you can't see when I do that. So let's put this in here. I've just lightly greased. This is an oven-proof dish, and look at that. Oh, ho, ho. And I've just lightly greased it so that it doesn't stick. Push it into the corners like that. We bring the shrimp on. Whereas I've got tea towels everywhere. There. And there's still some more juice come out, so I'm going to put that over there as well. And the shrimp like that. Ha! I should have used a bigger serving dish. That's going to go all over the oven. I know it is. And oh look, we've got no shrimp at that end, it's all at one side. Let's just push this through like that. There we are. All that flavour. And just sprinkle the breadcrumbs over the top, and that will give it just a little bit crispiness. I'm going to put it back in the oven. You could just slip it under the broiler, but I'm going to put it back in the oven, and that will just crisp off the breadcrumbs and keep the shrimp warm. And again, a little Parmesan over the top. So it's a very quick, easy meal to do. Let's open the oven door first, otherwise we're going to be struggling. There we are. There we are. Just put those in for a few minutes. I'll bring out the sticky pudding. They will be heated through. Let's bring these over to the table. Put them on there because they are hot. And we'll clean up this mess. Let's just clean up. There we are. So we go on to the sticky pudding. I'm going to leave the puddings in their covered over like that to keep them warm. And we're going to make the sauce. So come back with me. Let me put this away. And to make the sauce, I've got butter and brown sugar and a little double cream again. Where's the sauce? There we are. And we just gently melt this until it's dissolved. Derek?
Yeah.
Do you think you could pass me a plate over from the dresser?
Which plate?
Any.
Any?
Yeah. I just want to put the sticky puddings on a plate because they're hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you staying there for a minute?
Yep. I won't move till you get back. I promise.
Are you coming back?
Oh yeah, I'm coming back.
Now or no?
No, when you give me the plate, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly.
A plate.
A plate.
How big?
Yes, that'll do. I hadn't thought that these puddings were going to be hot because you can see on the butcher block I've got a mark where I had a pan and I felt underneath and it felt it felt dry and not hot. but I noticed that it had just marked the butcher block. There we are. I'm just going. It's melted. I'm just going to let that cook up for a few minutes. Just for a few minutes. I've got fingers like asbestos, so don't do what I do. Yes, that's nice and warm. Oh, you can smell the whiskey. I say ice cream on there with the topping is absolutely divine, but I'm not going to tempt myself. It's a pity, but there we go. Pour the topping over.
I should have got you a bigger plate.
I know, it doesn't matter.
Sorry.
It doesn't matter. There we are. I'll put a drop of water in there because it's got sugar in it and it's going to set. And that is a sticky pudding. As I say, a blob of ice cream or some whipped cream on the top. You can't go wrong. Let's have a look at this. It did leak out onto the oven. I'm going to have to clean the oven, but never mind. A little I'm going to put some red pepper on for some colour. First of all, I've got some paprika. So let's put just a little paprika on for some colour. This is nice with a green salad. You know, it's very adaptable. And it's really, really tasty. And as you can see, very, very quick and easy to make. Variation on a theme. A little green pepper. A red pepper rather. Just to add some colour. And lunch or dinner is served. You could start cooking the toffee pudding whilst you're eating your main course. So we go out with Jabor, and thank you very much for watching, and please go to Mrs. Calabash Cooks on Facebook. Tell me what you think. All comments are gratefully received. I love cooking for you, and I will see you again next week. Forgive me for $20, and we'll think of sailing down to the south on the money that you spent.